When the Heilige Bobber Rebbe, the grandson of the Heilige Santa, became a Rebbe, he started calling him the Bobik. And he would not talk to him. So people said to him, why did you talk to your nephew? The Heilige Shlomo, he said, what, I should talk to a Bobik, you know? So one time, the daughter of the Heilige Santa, the Bobber Fegele, she came to visit her brother. And she says to him, you know, you're putting all of us to shame. Here we are, the Holy Son's children and grandchildren, and you don't talk to your own nephew, which is, you know what the Chil Hashem it was, that you never spoke to your brother, you call him the Dibik. He said, well, what kind of thing is this? You know? He didn't say anything. I heard from the grandson of the Heilige Goddess, from an old Baba Chosset, you know. And the Goddess, he had a way of not lifting up his feet too much from the ground when he walked. He would walk like this. Okay. He walked out. And as he's coming to the door, he says to his sister, you know what? I'll talk to the Bobik. Okay. But an hour later, she was still there. Comes in again. Sister Fegele, do you know that I kept my brother, the Shinover, alive for 13 years with my tears? You know what that means? For the 13 years he didn't talk to him. This when he kept him alive with his tears. But what do we know? What do we know what God is doing? So she should have said, look, you don't talk to the Bobik either. Don't talk to him, man. The saddest thing is, the next yahrzeit, he did speak to the Bobik. A few weeks later, he passed away. And they realized, woman, you're going?
No, just going to wake up and
Okay, good. You okay, yeah?
yeah,
Sure. Good, good. You know what it is? We don't know who's giving us life. And we don't know whose prayers is keeping us alive. You know, whenever people have children, I always tell them, you'll never know whose bracha gave you children. Never know. And most probably, it's the one person you suspect the least that their bracha, you know.
We had 3 disasters yesterday. We have took our screens out, they've thrown up. They go into the room, tight room, crying, vomiting.
But those all people to learn what Shlomo says, that every moment, and the fact that you made it here so that you think it's something.
Lived there and fled prior to the Holocaust or something in Argentina. And so
They said the best thing they could say in drink shop is somebody told me something. Now I don't remember who said that.
Well, you're on the
Are we going to be able to buy videos possibly? Like a satellite program in your car that is dealing with psychology, mysticism, meditation, the Pneumius of the Torah, sort of the Shlomo of the Torah, beginning of our program, and it really is, though the building is still under its final to us. But I want you to know that this is part of this new program. God willing, by mid-December or Hanukkah, we will start an open house for a week or two to familiarize the general public with the range of programs. This one, the mailing list is there to sign up so we can get information to you. We will be starting classes for our program on Sunday and Tuesday evenings. If the current plan could change a little bit. Barbara is involved and other people I'm sure I'm missing here. But anyway, I need to know that we hope this will be a formal plug. And,
So, on one hand, we have to go fast. On the other hand, how can you go fast, right? So, I'll make it in between. I'll say the words inside in a few seconds, but just, you learned already with them like a little bit, you know already. So, the way Rav Nachman puts it, this constellation, those the stars. Okay, let's say, Shevet Reuven, right? Shevet Reuven has special stars. So when they daven, when Reuven davens their nusach, it wakes up the stars, and then the stars shining back and waking up everything to grow in this world. Because the stars are in charge. Again, they're making it fast. I'm not going in the different, what the stars are doing and what's the rain doing, what's the dew doing. Because everyone has a different function. But we are just going fast. I mean, isn't that crazy? You know, like this one tells this one and this one tells this one. Have you seen the red tape? Like you go to Woolworths, you want to pay. There's no, you have to go there. And then they say, no, this is close now. You have to go over there. The big, you don't want to buy it anymore. You know, it's the schlep around. So this looks like a whole schleppgeschäft. I daven here, right? And I appeal to the stars. Then the stars send a message down to the other department here. And then it's, what do you need this whole thing for?
and everything in triplicate.
Right. Employment. Yeah. Okay, let's now say it inside. Yeah. וכל שבט מעורר בתפילוסו כוח מזולס שבשניהם עושה מזולס. First of all, I have to repeat it. Every shevet, you know, it's not just a cute little 12. Every tribe has a certain social responsibility. They are Zionists, and every tribe is doing something for the whole world, obviously. Every tribe is doing something for the whole world. You know, there are 70 nations, and there are 70 Yidden who came into Egypt. And the Bes Yaakov says, in a crazy way, obviously, every one Jew is in charge of one nation. It's not to be believed, right? Okay, let's assume I would be in charge of Japan, right? And it's how many millions are in Japan? 100 million or many or more? How much? 60 million? Who knows? I mean, wouldn't you say it's a little bit ridiculous? I'm sitting in Yerushalayim, sipping coffee, I'm in charge of Japan. That's what it is. Not to be believed. And once you know the deepest steps, why do you have to go up and down by the praying? Going up and down, me, then the stars. I want you to know the difference in praying and the Torah is very simple. Because we are operating on two things, on learning and on davening. Learning is, the Gemara says, Dibro Torah K'lo Shemoneh Odom. Says, Moshe bo Moshe v'rin lo'od. The Torah, mamash coming down to this world. tefillah is mamash I'm going up. The whole thing is because I don't want to get my food in a grocery store. I want to get my food from heaven. What happens? The Gemara says, "Lo nitna Torah elo la'ochlei hamon." The Torah is only given to those who get their food from heaven. And this is very important to know. Rabbi Nachman says, you get your food from wherever you are at. Yeah. If I'm a garbage pail person, you get my food in a garbage pail. All my needs are coming from the same level wherever I am. It's awesome.
Like manna.
What?
Like the manna.
Yeah. So you see what it is. When the Yidden was Moshe Rabbeinu, the one heavenly level, they get the money from there. And, everybody in his own little way, when you test yourself, where's your money coming from? Okay, so I wanted Mamash to come from the highest place. So he says, "V'chol shevet ma'ora b'tfiloso koach mazoleh m'shnei masom mazolos." Every shevet is waking up something in heaven. V'mazel ne'er l'mata, and that mazel is shining down. What I want to say, why do I have to go to the stars and the stars coming up? Why doesn't Rav Nachman says, in every Yid is ma'ora, are the vegetables to grow here? And the answer is very simple. I mean, it's deeper than all this. You know what the stars are? The stars are like, you have to know how to package a thing, right? We don't know how to package heaven. I can only manage to send the message up there. But what I want that all this heavenly stuff should come down to this one, that I don't know how to do. It's not my department. My department is I'm Mamash Yid, and I'm waking up something infinite in heaven. But to bring infiniteness down to this world, this is what the stars are doing. It's crazy. The stars are so far out there, and they look so close. And you know what the Yidden are blessed? We should be like the stars. You know what we're doing? We are bringing down to the world the infiniteness of heaven, bringing it down to us. Right? This is what Yidden are doing. You see, I don't want to say anything bad. All religions of the world are sweet and holy, but they're not infinite. They don't have anything infinite. Anything infinite. The real infinite is right. Shabbos is 24 hours. It's infinite, right? Sukkot, you're sitting 8 days in the Sukkot. Infinite. Simus Torah, Mamash infinite. וזה פירוש דורך כוח ומיד. וקום שבט מישראל, וקום מבחינת המידה, מבחינת תפילה. כששבט מישראל עומד להתפלל, על ידי זה מהקרב. Okay, when I'm davening, I'm mamish infinite. And I'm a human being. I have something infinite inside. You see, if I would know how to package this infiniteness, I'd stop being infinite. God gives him the power to be finite, but the power to make infiniteness finite, this is what the stars are doing. And basically, it's also, obviously, you need tefillah, but that means that tefillah itself is already begging that this infiniteness should be a little bit finer to come down to the world. Remember that what Shem Tov's Torah, and I have to tell you this for Shem Tov because it's very important. The Gemara says that the person is judged on Rosh Hashanah, and then the Gemara says, Odom Nidin B'chol Yom. The person is judged every day. So Torah says it's a steer. On one hand, every day in Rosh Hashanah, Okay, it's a long time. So here's about Shem Tov. The Chassidim asked about Shem Tov, what do you say? He says, do me people call him Moshe the water carrier. They call him Moshe the water carrier. So he says to Moshe, how do you feel? He says, oh, Rabbi, it's gefährlich, it's terrible. I'm 75 years old. And if I wouldn't schlep that heavy water every day, I would die from hunger. It's heartbreaking. He says, I'm so old, and I don't have the strength, and I still have to schlep the water. The next Rebbe says, call him in again. He says, Moshe, how do you feel? He says, Rabbi, can you imagine the miracle? I'm 75 years old, and I still have the strength to carry the water. I mean, can you imagine how good God is to me? And that's what we believe, right? So he said, on Rosh Hashanah it was decreed you'll be a water carrier. But how he feels about it is judged every day, right? I don't want to say anything bad. Hopefully blessing everyone to be married, but it's decreed you should be married, right? But every day it's judged again how you should feel about it, right? One either wakes up in the morning with my wife disgusting, you know, how could I ever marry her? The next day you wake up and say, wow, what an Eish's Chayil I have, right? Okay, but then there's a deeper term of the Baal Shem. This is just like down to this word. You see what it is? On Rosh Hashanah it's decreed how much heaven should give you. But how much is coming down to this world, this is judged every day. Okay, it's in heaven it's decreed that this year I should have $1 million. But how much you get every day from it, it's judged every day. Maybe one day I get nothing. One day I get 100,000. I want you to know all the rabbis would always say before Rosh Hashanah, they would say, you haven't picked up everything we just decreed for you last year. It's lying down, it's lying up there. And you know, I want you to know something. It's crazy. Sometimes you walk into a person who's very sick, and you could mamish feel they could make it. It means it really was decreed in heaven. So much Rafu Shalem should be for them, but it hasn't come down yet. Hasn't come down yet. And you see what it is. What are the big rabbis all about? The real big rabbis, right? They mamish, they see what's going on up there, and they mamish, or they steal, or they grab, or they find underground, they bring it down, right? The Rebbe Levi would steal from heaven, bring it down to the Yid, right? He had his own underground, right? So first of all he says, mamish, I'm davening, right? And everybody knows davening needs much more achona than learning. Because learning is mamish in this world. Have you ever heard somebody saying, I have to prepare myself 6 hours to learn? You better not, and you'll never learn, right? Every second you learn, right? Davening, you prepare yourself. And why do you have to prepare yourself? Because when you daven, you want to reach heaven, right? You want to bring down from heaven everything which is meant for you. But then imagine you're up there already. How do I bring it down again? This I cannot. They have this heavenly elevator, and everything is coming down. This is very deep. You know, the Gemara says, Panosa is hard like crossing the Red Sea. What was so hard? And you know, this is just, what was so heavy about Kriyas Yamsuf? Because Kriyas Yamsuf is mamish heavenly. Because in this world, water is water, and dry land is dry land. And you know, I want you to know, heaven is not only that it's not physical. Heaven is that the greatest contrast all become one. You know, Shemaim is Eish Shemaim. That heaven You see, when they walked out of Egypt, all what came down was redemption. That I can understand. When we crossed the Red Sea, something unbelievable happened. Mamish, suddenly, dry land and water became one. And I want you to know something very crazy. I don't know if you know this, that the water didn't really change and become earth. The water was water, but you could walk on it. Where do you think the Goyalach took the thing that he was walking on the water, right? He was walking on water. But he weren't drowning in it. You know, the Melech says, B'nai Yisrael halcha b'yabosha b'sar chayam. You see, it didn't say they walked on water like in dry land. It said they walked in dry land in the middle of the water. That means they walked on water like in dry land, not on dry land like on water. It's a play on words. You know what I mean? God was changing everything, and it still wasn't changing. You know, I want you to know, if a person comes to you and says to you, if you want to be a Yid, you have to change completely. This is not what it is. Yes, I want to change, but I want to be me. I don't want to change. Right? You know, you've seen other people, you know, the Gemara says, to get married is harder crossing the Red Sea. Because on one hand, I have to change. Right? Suddenly I'm married, it's a different life, but again, I don't want to change, I don't want to be somebody else, right? So it has to be like crossing the Red Sea. It's still water, and it's dry land. So he says this is what the stars are doing. The stars, they are leaving it infinite, and they make it finite. He says, Ki hayom nikra l'shnei mosei kroim, k'neged shem mosei shvotim. You know what that means? You know what the stars are doing? And everybody remembers that, thank you for coming, that every tribe, I don't know if you remember this, maybe some of you think suddenly the water was dry land, and Moshe Rabbeinu says, let's go have a little walk, like a very intimate walk on the Red Sea. And does everybody here know that it was tunnels? There were 12 tunnels, and they were completely surrounded by water. And all the rabbis said the same thing, that the most beautiful thing was that before Mount Sinai, you know what it was? All the Yidden together went to the mikveh. Mamish, all of us went to the mikveh. Unbelievable.
Boys and girls?
No, I mean, we didn't get undressed in the Red Sea. We walked through. But we were completely surrounded by water. But Yael is right. I don't want to get involved with the long Torah. So, you know, in the mikveh, no, for real. In the mikveh, you cannot wear, it's chaytzit. It's like a little wall between you and the water. So, why on the Red Sea? So I want you to know something. You know, and again, I don't want to get involved, so don't ask me anything about it. But let me ask you, you really think God intended the world to walk around without anything on? Not true. If someone puts it that because of Eve we wear garments, not true. God wanted to give us garments on Shabbos. God wanted to give us garments on Shabbos. And you know what it is? That the beginning of the Kohen Gadol, the Hana Kohen, really were the garments which we were supposed to get for Shabbos. Yeah. And if you would wear those garments, then it would not be a chtzitz. Then I could go with my garments into the mikveh. Because those garments, you see what it is? My hell garments don't let the mikveh water get close to me, right? But if I would wear paradise garments, you remember learning it, why is it so important, the color, when someone gets married, with so much white garments? Because each time a woman gets married, she's hoping that will be the garments which God wants to give us for Shabbos, right? Hopefully, right?
There's the little Gemara about the Bnei Yerushalayim that are dancing in white garments. They use the word klei for garment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
B'tei she'ulim, yeah.
So klei.
Tomorrow you have fun today. You see what it is? So everybody, mamish, it's coming down, mamish, to what you need. And you know what it is, how special? Maybe I can have parnosa without crossing the Red Sea. But you know what I need? I want my parnosa. I want parnosa which fits me. Take 90% of the world. They have a few rubles, but I remember, I was now in Salzburg, so I started asking people, what do you do? Everybody said something else. I asked them, seid ihr glücklich? Are you happy with what you're doing? 95% told me no. Then I would ask them, seid ihr glücklich zu Hause? Are you happy at home? And some said yes, some said no, I was very, very interested. After that, they would talk to me, tell me all kinds of stories. I had really one privilege. I was learning a little bit Rab Nachman then. I was learning. So next day, a woman calls me up and she says, you know something? What was his name of this Rabbiner? I said, der Heilige Rabbi Nachman. Yeah. I sagt jetzt mit, I want you to know, it was touched me very deep. When I got married, I was very happy with my husband. Then something happened, and we became strangers. She says, we have been strangers for 5 years. We coexist. We are strangers. And last night, she said, after, I don't know what I was learning, what touched her. She says, I had enough guts. Ich habe den Mut aufgebracht. And I told my, what? I got myself courage, I was learning from Nachman, you must have, I was the Kedusha, all kind of things. She says, I told my husband, wieso sind wir so fremd zueinander? Why are we strangers? She said, if you only came to Austria to bring peace between me and my husband, I want to thank you for it, You know what it is? It goes without saying. All the Rabbische Torah, it's heavenly Torah, right? And when you learn it anywhere in the world, you don't know how it touches the people who learn it. You know what I said to this woman? I could swear that when Rab Nachman said this Torah, which I gave you over, I'm sure he was praying for you and your husband, Yeah. The cutest thing was, she says, I have a boy of 5. And he's angry at his father, because he says, my father is kein guter Mann. He's not a good husband to you. And he doesn't want to talk to his father. Isn't that cute? And she showed me a picture of a little boy, And she says, you know something? The whole time I didn't have the courage to tell my husband. But yesterday I told him, you have to be a good husband to me because he's so angry with you, the little boy. So she says, Mamish, last night and this morning, Mamish, the 3 of us made so much peace, You know what I mean to say? You was crossing the Red Sea. Crossing the Red Sea is through your tunnel. I can be married and I can have children, but I'm not going through my tunnel, so I don't get the Ikke. Remember we learned the Ikke Chais. I'm not getting that mamish deepest depths of life, which I need, mamish, for my neshama, for the deepest depths. He says, "B'nei Yisrael b'tfilosam goyimim devuge de kutshim And Yidden, with their davening, You know what Nibbe Kutschbrüch Schinte? That the infinite and the finite, would you say that what I need the most insight, you call it finite? No. This is